Yes, he's already there. Welcome, Dr. Abdul Jaleel.
Thank
Trishul
you so much.
supporter.
Thank you so much.
Good start, good start.
Namaste. Namaste to everyone. Uh, a very warm welcome to one and all to present here with us on this wonderful day. Let us start the session by invoking the blessings of Lord Almighty. I request Srimati Sumasi from Kulapati Munshi Bhavan's Vidya Mandir to render the prayer.
नमस्ते सदेते जगत्कारणाय नमस्ते चिदे सर्वलोकाश्रयाय नमो द्वैततत्त्वाय मुक्तिप्रदाय नमो ब्रह्मणे व्यापिने शाश्वताय
Thank you, Sumaticha. Buckminster Fuller rightly said, "You never change things by fighting them. The only way is to the existing reality. To change something, you have to build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete." Personally, I feel the education model as we know it is already obsolete. The future of education would be an amalgam of both the offline and online modes. Hence, the importance of equipping ourselves with tools that will help us keep ourselves relevant in the new scenario. To help us in this endeavor, the Sahodaya School Complex Thrissur has been considerate in arranging a session on effective tools for online teaching by Dr. Abdul Jaleel P, Principal of MP International School and a CBSE and COE Master Trainer. To formally welcome the gathering and the others on the dais, I request Srimati Anila M. Jayachandran, President of Sahodaya School Complex Thrissur and Principal of KMBVM Potor, to please take the stage. Ma'am, please.
Once again, namaste and good afternoon to all of you. It is the first training session which is going to be conducted for the teachers. It is an annual event for Sahodaya School Complex Thrissur. But this time, we are starting with the most important or the most relevant topic for the year, for the time. That is how to use online teaching more effective by using more relevant tools. And we are so happy that we have with us the most eligible person, I must say, who would like to be known as the passionate resource person, but I must say the most apt resource person, a very humble person to his nature, who would like to be closer to nature, who is more philosophical nowadays, and who is very down to earth person, a very calm and composed, well settled person with us, Dr. Abdul Jaleel. I had an opportunity to be a co-resource person once with Sir, that too in his own place at Kasargod, which gave me a very good and rich experience being a co-resource person with Jaleel Sir. Sir, on behalf of Sahodaya School Complex Thrissur, on behalf of the office bearers of SSCT, on behalf of all the participants, a very affectionate and wholehearted welcome to you for this platform, And we are so happy and we are privileged that on our call you have accepted our invitation. Surely, I'm so sure that the teachers will have a very rich experience by this session. They will have lots of takeaways and lots of new tools and techniques to be implemented in their classrooms. Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation. Once again, I welcome you. The master brain behind all the training sessions, Dr. Dinesh Babu, our secretary of Sahodaya School Complex Thrissur, He's the one who suggested, okay, let us start with a general session, that is how to use more of tools for online teaching. Sir, though it is a part of formality, I know you are the one who is working for it and who has done it possible. And on behalf of SSCT, on behalf of all the participants, let me extend my warm welcome to you. We have with us Sri Babu Koikara, who is holding the treasure so closely and so watchfully, I must say. Sir, your presence in all the training sessions, sir is present, and till the end, Sir Babu sir waits and listens to the session. That is the support given by sir, and I welcome you, sir, to the session. And all the executive members and other principals, my hearty welcome to all of you. Dear participants, your passion, I know it is the school working day, and many of you must be having various sessions, but you might have adjusted with extra timing or something like that. We have more than 180 participants here in the Google Meet, and many others will be watching this program in the YouTube live streaming. So I welcome each and every one of you for a very fruitful session given by Dr. Abdul Jaleel. And once again, and let us see, your queries can be posted in the chat box. We will be attending it towards the end. So those who are attending the session in the Google Meet as well as the YouTube live streaming, please feel free to post your queries, and sir will be answering it towards the end of the session. Once again, I welcome all the participants, all the principals, office bearers, and again our beloved resource person, Dr. Abdul Jaleel, to this session. Thank you so much. God bless each one.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. May I now request Mr. M. Dinesh Babu, General Secretary of Sahodaya School Complex, Thrissur. He is also the principal of CSM Central School, to give us a brief introduction to today's session and introduce the resource person.
Good afternoon to Mrs. Anila Jayachandran, the president of Thrissur Sahodaya, who welcomed all of us. Dr. Abdul Jaleel, my friend, and today's resource person. Mr. Babu Koikara, our treasurer, other office bearers of Thrissur Sahodaya, executive members, fellow principals, and dear participants. So Thrissur Sahodaya, arguably the largest Sahodaya now with 124 members. We conduct a lot of activities to promote the skills of students as well as teachers, to nurture, and you can say in other words. As Anna Madam said in the beginning, this is the first training program for the year, and we all feel maybe for the time being, this is the most important training program. We would be doing more programs, mainly on teachers training this year, and all those information will be kept intimated to you. I'm not taking much time. See, today we'll be concentrating on online tools, maybe some new tools Dr. Jaleel will introduce you. And as ma'am said, the training session will be for 1 hour. He will definitely introduce 3 or 4 new tools to you, how to use it, all those things. And end of the session, whatever the doubts you have, specific doubts, because he's a real master, no doubt about that one. Whatever doubts you have, we will, our resource person will clear it. In case, if he doesn't have an answer right now, definitely he will find out the answer and let's know it. No doubt about that one. So please wait for the end of the sections, but you can keep sending to chat box, the doubts. And in fact, I'm to introduce Dr. Jaleel. I don't call him Dr. Jaleel, and I call him only Jaleel. Okay. And he has known to me maybe for the last 11 years. And Madam said rightly, when I asked him to send your profile, then he said he would like to be known as passionate trainer. In other way, I think what he sent me, he would like to confirm to that statement, a passionate trainer. Not doubt about that. You are a passionate trainer. No, others must know, Dr. Jaleel. We live in the era of awards and all, okay, awards and all. If you ask me, in other words, if I were given the power to give a national award for a teacher or a principal or a trainer, undoubtedly, the first name will come to my mind is Dr. Abdul Jaleel. No doubt about that one. Such a simple person, as Madam said, down to earth personality. And I tell you, I am a person normally updated proceedings of CBSE and all. And the person whom I ask doubts is none other than Dr. Jaleel. And he has answer for everything. That's what I said. In case if he doesn't know the answer, he will definitely find out and tell you. So now today's training session is in the right hand. And he was one of the pioneer trainers. And one more thing I would like to add, I think he represented India in UK in one of the seminars. Okay, in UK in one of the seminars, he was sent by CBSE to talk about Indian assessment system. And he's a master in HP. And maybe what do we call the manuals regarding HP is one of the members in that one. Kelo India Master. Multifaceted personality, and especially you don't find many principals who are interested in these areas, HP and all, real master in HP and all. Okay, we may call him again in future for maybe giving a training on HP and all, especially Seva and all. Anyway, we are lucky to get you, Jaleel. I don't call you Dr. Jaleel or Jaleel sir, my close friend. I wish you the very best for today's training session. Okay, I'm sure you will all participants will enjoy his session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Actually, you people are designating me with a lot of treasures, and I don't know whether I am eligible for all this. Anyhow, looking at my screen, I see all the familiar faces. I don't feel like I came to another Sahodaya or another place to train the teachers. And when it comes to online tools and platforms, I have started feeling that I'm not resourceful enough, because every day new tools are introduced, every day new platforms come into existence. So what I will do, let me share my screen first. Before that, I would like to tell that if there is any power failure and if my presentation goes off, I have another device from which I will be joining. So you will have to give me 2-3 minutes gap in between if it is required. So let me share my screen. Yeah. So the session is on effective tools for online teaching, and organized by one of the largest, not one of the, I think the largest Sahodaya in the state, Sahodaya Schools Complex, Thrissur. And I am honored and I am privileged to get an opportunity to come to you people and to speak to you, where I can see 146 participants attending this session. So when we attend the sessions related to, am I audible, Dinesh sir? I am audible. My voice is
perfect.
Thank you. So see, when it comes to effective tools for online teaching, I have seen several sessions, or I also have handled several sessions on difference of tools, several tools all together. I don't want to do that here today, because I want to pick only 2 or 3, and I want to show you how you can really use that in your school, in your class with your students and all. So I'm not going to deliberate a lot on a lot of tools. I will pick only a few, which one of them is a platform, another one is an assessment tool. So genuine assessment. Dinesh sir sent me some of the questions dropped by the participants, and they were asking what are some of the genuine tools for assessment. Now please go to the link dropped in the chat box and tell me first what language should I use for communication? You can click the link in the chat box and then give me the answer. And I'll give you 30 seconds for this. Because the language is also very important when it comes to training in CBSE especially. Fine. So 38% say that I have to use both. 62 says it's English, and nobody is asking for Malayalam as a medium of communication here. Okay, fine. So let me use both. I'll mix wherever possible. So when it comes to effective online teaching, now we are in a world where we have to teach. And when it comes to school, we have a different age category where they are distracted very much, where they are hyperactive sometimes, where they are not under our control. And even if they are in our classroom, we are not able to manage these students sometimes. But when it comes to online, we are completely out of reach. So effective online teaching is the concept where we have to work on. Why am I using some of the slides here? You can find two reasons. Number one, yesterday when Dinesh sir sent me the questions asked by the participants while registering, many had dropped a question on strategies and methodologies and all those things. So I have used a few content related to the methodology and all. Point number two, what I want you to observe is that the presentation that I am giving to you right now is given using the Mentimeter. I'm not using Google Slides. I'm not using PowerPoint presentation. I'm using a Mentimeter where I have content for giving you, as well as I'm also using this tool live for without changing the slides or without changing the window. I'm directly giving some assessments also. Now, when it comes to effective online teaching, please go to the same link where I had dropped it earlier. What do you think effective online teaching is all about? You will have your own idea. And I'll give you 1 minute for this, and you can see the timing on the screen. What do you think effective online teaching is all about? You can go to the same link. If I should drop it, I can drop it once again, no problem. But go to the same link. Then you will get an option to respond to. Then give your answer there, please. You have 36 seconds. Are you able to join in? Same link I'm dropping once again. 3 have responded. You have 19 seconds. Ten have responded. Okay. So now the time is up. Let us see what your concept of effective online teaching is all about. Someone says that it's capturing the total attention of the children. Effective online teaching is all about capturing the total attention of the children and facilitating online teaching, making students understand the concept, then interactive sessions with the interesting activities, student-centered, students understanding the concept, which can give the same effect as offline teaching, something which gives the same effect of offline teaching. Then correct way of presentation. Presentation section will be perfect like our online classes, should engage students to connect effectively, to be able to initiate and interest the learners group, involving the learner group without any difficulty, teaching with proper interaction, then enhancing the level of knowledge in students to facilitate guide students through interactive e-tools, and being able to convey the content, keeping the students interested, sustained, managing time and technology, conveying the concept clearly, engaging students in online learning, powerful interaction. Engaging students, if you take all these answers, what you can see is most of you are talking about engaging, making it attractive, making it interesting, making it resourceful. So this is what we call effective online teaching is all about. Now see, when you go teach online, when you are going to teach online, there are certain little things that we do not take care of, which brings a lot of difference. The little things which goes unnoticed, that makes a lot of difference. See, when going for online teaching, you have to think a lot about the virtual equity, where whether the facility that I provide in my school is accessible to all the students of my school. That's a different thing that we have to think about. When it is teaching online, there are certain things which you have to be very careful about. See, I'll tell you, you cannot have a perfect schooling online. You cannot have a perfect schooling. So you should not expect a perfect schooling anywhere on online world. And you have to set your goals in such a way that you don't expect it for a regular schooling. Whatever extent you are able to achieve in bridging the gap of this physical and virtual world, that is your success. Whenever you go for a teaching online, first thing you have to talk about is learning objectives. You have Dinesh sir and Anila madam and all these people in your Thrissur district who might have already given you hundreds of sessions on learning objectives and all. And I will be talking in a wrong planet if I talk about this learning objectives. The only thing that we have to focus on, the thread that we have to focus on, is the learning objectives. So what happens in learning objective is we may have several pages in our books, in our textbooks. So if you try to complete all those pages in your textbook using the online devices, it's not going to help you, it's for sure. So the focus should be learning objectives. So the learning objectives can be achieved through various activities. So the primary concentration should be on learning objectives. Number two is, as a teacher, you and as students, your students should have clear expectations. What is expected? See, first part of my presentation is all about the methodology. I'll take 10 minutes for this. Then you are requested to see the presentation that I am making is one of the way to learn digital teaching, where Mentimeter is used. Give them clear expectation. What is expected? What is the expected date? What is the expected target they have to achieve? What are the expected behavior they have to exhibit? What are the expected behavior that you have to demonstrate? Have clear expectations. Number three, instructor presence. As a teacher, you must be present there. You must be present physically and emotionally. Sometimes what we see is in many of the schools, only the screen is talking. The teachers are not at all available. So the instructor's physical as well as emotional presence is very, very important while teaching online. Then engaging students, as you were telling, you may be getting 40 minutes, 50 minutes, and during that time, if you are a person who speak at one side and keep on speaking throughout, and the students are not at all listening to you, or they are not at all engaged in activities, it is not going to give you any result. See, it was okay. Last year, we did not have any practice and we gave online sessions. We have 1 year, several hours of teaching practice online. Now you have to show a better performance. That is the rule. So you should know how to engage them. You should know what are the activities which engages them. You should know what are the methodologies to engage them. Prompt feedback. When there is certain thing to be given from your side, when they do certain things, give it immediately. Prompt feedback is very, very important. Feedback from the side of the teacher. Motivation. Students should feel like, why should I complete this task? Or why should I attend this class? Or why should I listen to this particular teacher? Motivation is the answer. Nobody else will come to tell your students about your subject and about the treasure you have in your subject. Motivation is very important. Always understand that you are teaching for online students. You are not teaching a regular offline students. This is what you have to understand. There are limitations, but with that limitations, you can do a lot of things. That we have limitations now. Still, we are doing well. We are doing a lot of things. That is what you have to keep in your mind. Then your virtual personality. Just think about this thing, this one thing, virtual personality. When Dinesh sir is sitting there, I can see his dressing, I can see his hairstyle, I can see how he is presenting himself. I can see his background as well. Background in the sense what he physically has as a background. Now what happens is for these 2 years, we are not getting students in our classrooms. The students see you through the screen. They see you every day through the window that you provide through your desktop or laptop or your mobile phone. Now you are gradually building a personality that will be reflected once you come to your school after this online schooling. So you have to be very, very serious about your virtual personality, the way you present yourself to the students, the way you behave, the way you talk. See, there are situations where some of the highest officials got sacked or fired because they were not talking properly for a phone call and all. Maybe everyone sees you. So your virtual personality is a very, very important thing. This is a very new thing to us. But if I am not careful about my virtual personality, tomorrow when I go and meet my students once again in my classroom, in my school, they will have an entirely different approach and mentality towards us. That should not happen. So the thing is, number one, you have to mind where do you sit, where are you sitting, the place you are sitting, whether it is a nice place, whether it is a good room, or whether the background and arrangements and everything are fine. You think about this. If we concentrate only on tools and if we do not concentrate on all these things, it's not going to help us for sure, because this area creates a lot of impact when you come back to your school. So where do you sit, whether the place you sit is visible to children, whether it has got good lighting and everything, whether the place you are sitting is proper, whether you are showing your face every day. You can see certain places where the teachers are handling the sessions and they come very close to the camera, where I never understand that what is happening at the other side, because there is another side. When in a regular classroom, we have a limited place, limited area. But when it is all about online, see, if I go close, you can see only my ears. There are teachers who go like this and take class. There are teachers who go close and take classes. No, you have to understand that this is happening at the other side. They are looking at me, and I should not become an ear or an eye or a nose or a mouth. I should be visible in clear way. I have to take care of that. Then before you go to give your present it or conduct something, you please test your slides before you do that. It should not be like you go there and test it during the session, because you have only 40 to 50 minutes there. You have to be careful about it. Plan interactive activities. As you are told, interactivity is the soul of online session. It's the soul and spirit of online sessions. If there is no interactivity, and if you are speaking throughout, it is okay if you are giving a session once in a month, twice in a month, once in 15 days. But when it goes to every day, if you do not do this, it will be the biggest failure in your teaching career. So interactivity is very important. Repeating instructions. When you do give online sessions to your students, what you have to do is you are supposed to repeat your instructions. Once I tell something to my students, I will have to repeat it. I should not get angry, and I should not tell that I will not repeat the instruction, because now they are not sitting in the 400 square meters or square feet rooms. They are sitting somewhere else. Whatever I tell should from my device should pass through a device to their device. There should be a medium, there can be an abstraction. So I may have to repeat the instructions. Several teachers do not do this because they get angry. That should not happen. So I should be patient. I should have clear expectation what I should have from my children, that I may have to repeat my instruction. There may be any technical issue. There may be any technical problem. There is a possibility. So I will have to repeat instructions. It does not mean that you repeat it every day or every time. You will have to, because after giving an instruction, wait for a few seconds so that they respond to you. That is very, very important. If I expect a swift response, like I threw it and it came back, it's not going to happen. We are in an entirely different world where they need a time to process, they need a time to think, they need a time to respond to. That time should be given. And you can easily identify who are the students who make you repeat the instructions. So if there are students who always make you repeat it, you can call that student individually and do the needful. Then whether you are using variety of technology, whether you are using variety of tools, if you want to use one tool per day, there are 365 tools available. The only thing is you should have the willingness to explore, to search, to identify, to analyze, and to fix it, to select it. There are n number of technology available, tools available. You have to go for a different one, which gives them a different taste every time. Then whether you maintain individual connection, it may be an online session where I give them online session, I call the name of the student there. That calling itself is an individual connection, number one. That calling itself is an individual connection. Whether I do have any other connection, like I call them personally after school hours and speak to them and ask them whether they are finding it difficult to follow anything. That connectivity is very important. This online schooling is all about making them aware that there is something called school which exists. There is something which called teacher exists. There is something which called science or social or Malayalam or English that exists. There is something that's called assignment exists. There is something that's called homework that exists. There is something called a textbook which I have to read and understand. Now we are focusing on that. It is not like 100% achievement can be 100% perfection can be brought in teaching and learning. Make them feel, make them understand, make them know that there is something which exists. You know how difficult it will be. It's another challenge that we are going to have after this COVID time when they come to regular classes. That 2 years they were completely free. They had their own freedom, they had their own time, they had their own pace. Now when they come back to school, we will have to take care of them. It's a huge responsibility that we are going to have in future. Have you checked your connectivity is another important point, where whether you check it, whether you understand, whether you test. There should be a screen test as we do in our schools. Before the academic year, there is a screen testing where the teacher has to sit in a place where she usually sits for handling sessions. From there, she has to take session. When she takes the session, how the background looks, how the voice, how the connectivity is all about. That check is very important. See, I am speaking from here. I do not know whether I am audible to you, whether I am clear to you, whether my voice is coming perfect. But to me, as a person, as a teacher, as a resource person, to me, it is not sure that how it comes. To me, I am living in a world of my voice, where my voice is clear to me. My connectivity is clear to me. My speaking is smooth here, but it may not be like at the other side. So I have to check the connectivity. Are they present there? Whether the students, you have a 40 minutes class, whether they are present there. That is also very, very important. The only way to ensure their presence is to give them activities in between. Tell them that your attendance is based on the activities that we give, your answer in the activities we give. Then see, take this point from me, ladies and gentlemen. Don't burn forest for trees. Don't burn forest for trees. In your session of 40 minutes, you will have 30 children. Out of the 30, there will be 1 or 2 who creates a bit of problems. Because of their problems, you should not spoil your 40 minutes for the rest of the 28 students. What you can do is, if they are not manageable, just kick them out of the class. That's the only solution we have. Or you just tell them that their problem will be handled later, and after the session you call them and speak to them, so that for that individual you are not spoiling your 40 minutes. Your 40 or 50 minutes should not be spoiled for those one or two students. You have a forest to take care of. When the tree comes, the tree has to be handled separately, maybe after school hours. This is one of the important things that you have to note. So these are some of the things. So now you should have tools for schools, tools for online teaching. What are some of the tools available? What are some of the tools that you should have? So this is what I had about my some of the methodology or points to take care of. Now I am going to tell you about some of the tools. Whether as of now the things are clear to you, or you have any confusion, any doubts, you can speak. If you want, you can speak. Things were clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what I told you as of now you see one thing. What I used here was a Mentimeter. I did not use any, see, in the same Mentimeter, I was giving you the, some of us use different PowerPoint presentation. From PowerPoint presentation for interactivity, I come back to my Mentimeter, then again I go to presentation. What happens here is I have Mentimeter. Now, if you want to learn how to use this Mentimeter, mine is a paid version where I can have slides, several slides. If you want to know how to use this, we can have a few hints on how to use this. Now, I am going to focus on one of the very important and interactive tools. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Nearpod. You can use the chat box and give me an answer. How many of you are familiar with the Nearpod? Have you heard this word, this name, this tool, or are you hearing it for the first time? Okay, you do not know about Nearpod. Okay, fine. Now I'll tell you the limitation of the Nearpod. When it is the free plan, you can have your own free plans. When it is a free plan, you can have only up to 30 students in your class. If you go for a paid version, there are paid versions available, and your school can go for a paid version also. Free, you can have up to 30 students. When it comes to a gold plan, you have $120 per year, and if it is a platinum, $3,349 per year. So these are different schemes. But as a teacher, basic free plan is enough for you. Basic free plan is enough for you once you know how to use it. Now, what is this Nearpod? Nearpod is such a tool where you can teach, where you can interact, and where you can assess the students. As the strength here is 157, I may not succeed in reaching all of you. However, I can reach some of you where I can make it interactive. Now, let me tell you what you have to do to go for Nearpod. First, you go to nearpod.com. Once you go to nearpod.com, you can sign up. What is signing up? Always when you create your account, it is known as sign up. So go for a sign up. That is the first thing. Then you will get your login ID and password. Then you are fit. You are fit for presenting a session using Nearpod. You have basic plan. Using the basic plan, a creative teacher can give a number of sessions. Now, what do we do here, or what happens in this? Let me show you. First of all, when you create a new lesson, you can practice this after the session with your teachers in your school. As the number is 156, I may not be able to include all of you in a live session, but I am teaching you how you can do it. Let me tell you, first you have to go to create a lesson. Click on creating a lesson. That will take you to a new lesson. That you are a science teacher, that you are going to have a new lesson. You are going to have a new lesson. Now I am creating a new lesson. So when you click on create new lesson, if in between you find it difficult to follow me, please tell me. You can turn your audio on and tell me. Uh, Once I created, what did I do? I'll repeat it. I signed up. I have my own username and my own password. Now I once again went to nearpod.com and I logged in using the username and password. When I reach here, I can see this create a lesson. So when I create a lesson, click on create a lesson, a new page will appear. It may be science, class 6, maybe lesson on lungs. It may be a lesson on lungs. First, before I give the lesson or interactive session to my students, I have to create that lesson. So what all can I do in creating this lesson? That's what I'm showing you. First, you can go to add content. Click on add content. So when you click on add content, you will get various options. What content can you add to that particular unit? You can add a video, you can add a slide, you can add a web content, you can add a 3D, you can add a simulation, you can add a virtual reality field trip, you can add a BBC video, you can go for SWA, you can go for slideshow, you can give them audio, you can give them PDF viewer. These are various features. Some of these are not available in the basic plan. Now let me tell you, our lesson is all about science, and it's all about lungs, for example. As a teacher, what should I do? First thing, I have to create a lesson. The lesson is on lungs. Now I have to go to add content and activities. So what should I add first? It's a sequence of activities or sequence of teaching. Now, what should I add first? I can add a video. To add a video, I can click on video. If I click on video, what happens is a page will appear. A new page will appear with a lot of videos. See, you can use videos which are already here. There are several videos: food chain, addition, types of rocks, long division, comparative superlative, language. Then there are a lot of planets. There are several videos which you can use, no problem. Or you can have your own videos. You can create your own videos, or you can add YouTube videos, or you can upload your own videos. Now, as our topic is lungs, see, the subjects and classes are provided here. Now, I can see, I can filter if it is science and if it is class 6. The videos which appear here are of that grade level. So that's how you can select a video. Now, if it is, for example, about respiratory system, instead of lungs, respiratory system, I can select this video. Now I selected the video. As I have already created some videos in this says that you have already stored 100 MB. You already have used 100 MB. Now I have to delete all that lessons that I created earlier. I have created 3-4. I have to delete. Then this video will appear here. In case you don't have space there, just think that you don't have space there because yours is a basic plan. I'll give you the solution. You can click on YouTube. Here you can click on respiratory system, and I can search. When I search, I'll have a lot of videos in my YouTube. So I can see which one is suitable for this particular lesson, which one has to be taken. Now I am taking this crash course or respiratory system. Once I select this video, I have to go down and I have to save it. Now, in a lesson called respiratory system, I am adding a video to the interactive session that I am creating. Now, this is the video. This is the video. Now, this video can be played. I will tell you one of the most beautiful thing that you can have with this Nearpod is that I can play this video.
Let me introduce you to one of the bravest pioneers in the history of life on planet Earth. An organism that blazed the trail for every single vertebrate that lives on land today. And
now see, the video is ready. This is a 9-minute video. So how to ensure that the students are watching this video for 9 minutes? It's not sure that when you give a video to your student, the student will watch the entire video. Is there any guarantee? Do you think that if you give them a 10 minutes video to your students, they will watch it? Do you think so? Not at all. They may skip and they may go and they may finish it somehow. Now the beauty in Nearpod is that here, now I watched it. Now I can assess whether they are watching my video or not. How can I do? Now after 5 or
Hey, and many
10 or
that don't.
20
It's
seconds.
one of your most important ancestors.
Now he presented certain concepts so far. It's a 13 seconds. I want to ask a question. Now I can add activity here. Look at the beauty. I have a video and I played 13 seconds. After 13 seconds, I want to ask the students a question from those 13 seconds. Now what can I do? I can go to this add activity, click on that, and I can add question there. What kind of question I can add? I can add open-ended question if I want to, or I can add multiple choice question. Now how to add a multiple choice question? Just click on add activity, then a page will appear. You ask your question here. You ask your question and what are the solutions or answers you have. You have the answers. Then you have to select the right answer. Ticking on this will give you the right answer. Then add answer. If you have another answer, add it. If you do not have another answer, if it is a 2 answer question, you can give only 2 questions. Then you have to come here and save it. Now what happens is, when the students play this video, when they reach this, I have not actually saved it. Let me save it first. Saved it. Now what happens is, when the student watches the video, when the student reaches that 13th second, what is the student's mobile phone or the device where the student has to answer? Where the student has to answer. If the student doesn't answer, you can confirm that the student has not watched the video carefully. This is one of the very interactive tool where you can go with n number of questions during a video. This is the first content I added. Am I clear so far, or am I confusing? Things are clear to you? Yes? Okay, fine. So now I added one video. In the video, I added a question. When you give it to the student on a 13th second, the video will pause and the question will appear where the student have to give the answer. When the student gives the answer will appear on my screen. With their name, with their point, the answer will appear on my screen. So if you give them, always when you give a session to your student, please be very particular about giving shortest videos. Don't think that you will give 20 minutes video to your student and they will watch and that has got rich content. No. You have to think about shortest videos and that is more effective. But always ask questions after that. That is very important. Now I added a video. So you can practice this. As I told, I have a limitation of 30 in this particular basic plan. I cannot show you this here. Otherwise I could have. Now after the video, what should the students be able to do? For example, I'm creating the lesson. In my lesson is a package which phase by phase, they have to move from one to the other, from that to the other one. Now I can also add another content which can be an image, for example, where I can click on the slide and from that slide I can select. Now see, the slide appears. What do I want to use in my second phase? It may be an image. So what image? I can click on image where I can search for image, respiratory system. Respiratory system. Now a lot of images come here. I can select any one which is the most suitable, which I think is the most suitable. Now this appears here. You can see this. I can make it smaller, I can make it bigger, and I can add the heading also, respiratory system. Okay. Now look at these features which are available at the bottom. You have one of the beautiful option. where you can give it a background, where you can change the layout. This audio is very, very important. This audio is a very supportive tool where you can record a 2 to 3 minutes audio about respiratory system, or if you want to record it live, you can just click on audio recorder. You can upload your recording or you can go for audio recorder. Now what you do with the audio recorder, just click on audio recorder, click here, and whatever you speak gets saved there. Whatever you tell gets recorded there. Now what happens is, I am giving them a picture, I am giving them a 2 minutes talk about that picture, maybe an explanation, maybe a description. Now I am live, I am recording my voice live with a picture. Now I save and exit. Now what did I do? I added second chunk to my teaching. My first chunk was a 9-minute video or 2-minute video. My second chunk is a 1 or 2 minutes image with description. Now I am connecting the multiple intelligence as well here. The students who want to listen to are getting that facility. Those who are visual are getting we are meeting their requirement as well. Now, can you just tell me in my content, now I am creating a lesson here. In my lesson, how many chunks I have created so far? 2. Great. 2. It's not necessary that students download this app in their device. They can go to nearpod.com where they can use the code, as you are using code for Mentimeter and all. That code can be used, and in web browser they can access it. Now I have used 2 chunks of the same lesson. I am creating my lesson. I created 2. Now I want to add one more. For example, I want to show the lungs respiratory system or lungs to my students as a 3D animation. I can show them. I can select from here. Here are options available. I am selecting respiratory system and I am selecting preview to see how well this works. And if I want to show it in a bigger screen, I can make it bigger. Now I am showing you the lungs, and I can turn it, even the students, once the link is shared, the students will be able to view it in bigger. You see, you can see it. So there are things that you can see where these are already available. Now you are just creating, attaching it to your content. Now once the student gets the code to join the session, what happens is the student will be able to turn it and check it and minimize it and maximize it. Whatever I am doing here, the student will be able to do the same thing in the device of the student. So once I select this, check this preview, now I feel that, okay, this is perfect. I am selecting a 3D. Now tell me, how many chunks have I used for my lesson on respiratory system? Respirator 3. I have used 3. Great. Now, if I want to add more, I can add. For example, if I want to add a reading material to my student, that the student must be able to read an article or a website or something like that, I can go for web content. So what is web content? In website, in your browser, you can search for respiratory system. You will get a lot of descriptions and explanations, and you select which one is the best one available. Now, if this is the page where the student should be able to go while they complete their lesson in respiratory system, you go to the page, then copy this URL, which is available here. Then you add it to the Nearpod. Here is a URL, paste it. You want to check or test the link. After pasting, you have to check whether this link takes the students to the same page. You have to test this link. Now, if you see the same page appearing here, things are perfect. Now you have to save the link. When you save, it may ask you for a permission because it is from a third party. So you can click on I have visited and you can save it. Now tell me, to the respiratory system, it's a lesson. What? See, it may be a lesson I have in my textbook with 4 pages or 5 pages or 2 pages. Now what I have done, I have used the chunks where the student is getting an option to watch the video, where the student is getting an option to listen to my voice, where the student is able to view it as he wants to, and where the student is able to browse and get the content for research work or do an additional reading. How many chunks have I added now? 4. Great. I can keep on adding. I am not going to add more. Now while adding, there is one more option. What do you see at the top here highlighted? Just use the chat box and tell me. What do you see here highlighted at the top on my screen? Contents. Very next to content, you can see. What do you see very next to content? Can you tell me? Activities. Now I can click on activity. Now what is activity? When I create this lesson here, I can give them activity in between before he proceeds to the next one. Now what do? I can add questions. I can add open-ended questions. I can give them matching pairs, quiz, flip grid, draw it, collaborate board, poll, fill in the blanks, memory test. I can do. Let me take time to climb now. Now the student completed a video, a voice, and a reading material. Now if this is a time to give a test, I can add the question here. Again, I can add the answers here. I'm not typing because it takes me time. Then I can give the right answer. Then I can add question. I can add question if I have another question. If I don't have another question, I need not add. Now what I have to do, I have to save. Now what happens is I have added an activity in between. This activity can be added even after the video. This can be added even after this audio. It can be added anywhere. Now you are traveling from one place to the other, gradually giving them concepts, giving them multiple sources to understand a concept, giving them multiple activities whereby which they understand the concept. And once you complete all these, what you have to do is you have to save and exit. Now I am combining all these here. Now I am combining all these. Now I created this as a single unit. You can see it here. You can see it here. Do you see it here? This is the lesson I created. Now I have 3 options. Option number 1, if I am a teacher who has a Zoom classroom, I can click on Zoom and directly give it to the students. Number 2, I can give it to live participation, where I can go with my Google Meet, or I can go with my Microsoft, or I can go with my Zoom. Then I can click on live participation. Then what will happen is I will be able to get the link for the live participation, where now this gives you, this is the code, Z8YE9 is the code to join my Google, my Nearpod. So what you can do, you can go to nearpod.com, where you can check student joining. Then you can give this code. What will happen is you have 2 options. One is teacher place, number 2 is student place. Now I'll tell you the difference. If teacher place is enabled, only when the teacher plays, the student will be able to see it. If the teacher stops, the student will stop watching it. Now instead, if I give students play, if you get the link, you will be able to cover it, complete it without waiting for the teacher. Is this clear to you? The difference between teacher place and student place. When it is student place, the student will be playing the video in student's own device. Whether your internet connectivity, whether your voice, it doesn't matter, because the student is playing directly in his or her device. So you can select whether teacher plays or student plays. When teacher plays, what happens is the students will see on the screen, watch the video. Then the student will have to come to Google Meet or Zoom, and there the student has to watch the video. When it comes to the question, now you can see here, this is a place where a question is asked. Now at the time where it is fixed for question, the video will stop and the screen will wait for the student to respond. And you can see how many students joined here. Then you can see how many students have given the answers. And the answers and the result will appear on the screen. Am I clear to you? Now I opened my lesson. This is the first part. And if I click on this, it will take you to my second part. See, this has become a single package. I added it as a separate one, but this comes as a single package. Now I can, I'll be able to play what is here, and the student will be able to hear what I have added as an audio here. So if I go to the next one, you will be able to see now I am, with the bits, I am creating a lesson where I can take them from one place to the other one. And if I click on here, the student on their device will get this URL. When clicking, that URL will directly take them to this reading material or the website where they can read the article. After that, it will take them, if I click on this, it will take them to the questioning or the activity which I told you. This is the activity or the question that I created. This becomes the last slide of a teacher that the teacher creates. Now here, this comes as a question where you can also randomize answers, you can also enable sounds, and then you can continue. When you continue, it will give the question to the students and the student will have to answer. So it will give a beautiful interactive way for the student to answer the questions. What did I do? Can you just tell me? What did I do now? I created a lesson. What did I do in creating a lesson? What did I do? I created a lesson. How did I create a lesson? I went to the nearpod.com. I created a sign up. Then I got my username and password. Then I logged in. When I logged in, I click on create. After clicking on create, I can add activities one after another. I can decide whether the first thing should be a reading material or a writing material or a video or an audio. I can decide. Now it comes as a single piece. Earlier it was not like this. It comes as a single piece for my students. Am I clear with the Nearpod to you? I could have given this to you if the number was lesser. As we have more participants, I will be finding it a little difficult to manage this. This is clear to you? Okay, Nearpod. So this was one of the tools that I wanted to make you familiar with. And please practice, and it will help you for sure. And whenever you go with a tool, please practice it a lot. Within a group of 4 or 5 teachers, you practice it one after another. Maybe same department can have it. You practice it a lot, where rest of the members become the students and you become a teacher. Then the other one gets the role of a teacher. Then you become student. So you practice this. This gives you, and you know, once this is presented, you can also, after assessment, what happens is the result comes to you. I will show you to my email ID. This is what the report comes after assessment. If you want to check how many students attended, what are their names, how many marks they received, so I will have the report. After that, what I can do is I can delete this. To delete, I have to click on these 3 dots, then I have to click on delete. If you have 60 students in your class, for example, you can create a duplicate of this. Same replica will appear and you can give different link to your students. Now I am deleting this. Am I clear with the Nearpod to you, please?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. May I ask you a doubt?
Yeah.
Sir, students play and teachers play, you have given 2 options were there, no?
Yes, yes.
How can the students say enter inside that with the code or any other, like without the teacher's presence, whether they'll be able to do?
If you create, see, student based one, if you create student based one, they will be able to do it. Better you go with the live participation. How the students get, as someone asked in the group, how the student gets, click on live participation. Ask the students to browse nearpod.com. After browsing nearpod.com, they have to go to student login, where they have to give this code, this 3UEX2, this code. When they give this code, they will be able to join the session. And when they join the session, they will be able to access it. But you have to select whether this is teacher play or students play. When it is student play, the students will be able to watch the videos and answer questions at their own speed. But if it is teacher's play, if teacher stops the video, they will have to wait for the teacher to play it next. This is what. So if you go with students play, one of the benefit that you have is that your students will be able to watch the video in their own device. What we are doing right now is we are sharing the device. My screen is shared. You are watching my screen or your screen. You are listening to my system audio in your system audio. So when they join as a student page and all, they will be able to watch it as you are watching a YouTube video in your own device. That can be done. So this is what I had about Nearpod. So this is one of the tools I have for you to teach interactively. Now, what are the benefits? Number one, video can be added, reading material can be added, then activity can also be integrated in between. This is one of the features that we have. So hope this is clear to you. Now I am moving to my assessment tool. Some of the teachers had asked about how can someone has turned on the audio. Someone has turned on the audio. Please mute. Someone has turned on the audio. Yeah, thank you. Now I want to tell you how you can conduct assessments, that you are conducting pre-midterm examination or assessment or midterm. Now, how can you do? Many of you might have done in Google form, which I do not want to explain here. Now, what I will do here, now let's take a few minutes to complete a test. I am giving you a link, which I am dropping in the chat box. Please go there. Please go there. And there is a test, assessment. You just attend that test. Let us see what happens. Your passcode will be 1234. Just go, click, and join. To join, it will ask for passcode. It is 1234. Hope you are able to access. Are you able to access?
Yes, sir. Yes.
There is no need to install any.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there is no need to install any. Just click on, and there are some questions and answer them. You can click on the link. Then it will ask for your name. Give your name. You can give any name, no problem, because it's just a practice session. Then you can give a passcode as 1234. 18 are online now. 18 teachers are online. Out of 144, only 18 are trying. As of now, no one has submitted. Let us see once they submit it. Please complete it in next 1 minute, because we are running short of time. 3 have submitted. Those who have submitted can come and check my screen. Now 69 are online. It's not necessary you answer all the questions correctly. You just give whatever you want to and just come back and see how it is done. That's what required here. I'll wait another 30 seconds. After that, I'll continue the session. Yeah. Now you can see many of you, 16 responses here. Yeah. Now please come back. Those who have incomplete, please come back and look at the screen that I want to tell you how you can conduct this. Now see, this Testmos is you can get a free version where you have limitation of questions, but you can conduct it after. You can download the report again, you can delete and you can conduct. What I have done in my school is I have bought one Testmos and the username and password is given to all the teachers. But you have to tell your teachers that they should not touch the other teachers' tests or assessments. Now just look here, madam or ladies and gentlemen. Now I just created a question. I gave you a link. I gave you a password. That I did not do any valuation work. So the system is already doing it. Now look at the screen. I'll show you. See, average score of this class is 49%. You can see the analysis, result analysis. 12% is the lowest performance, 88% is the highest performance. Average time taken by the student is 3 minutes 3 seconds 26 average. So responses are 41. These are an overall analysis of the assessment. Now you see, I had used some descriptive questions here, right? Have you observed that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which were the descriptive type of questions I had used?
What is curriculum? What is curriculum?
Question number 9.
What is pedagogy?
Question number 9 and question number 10, right? Now, descriptive evaluation is not done by a system. 8 questions are assessed by a system. What do you see here in 9 and 10?
Question mark.
Question mark.
Question mark.
Now, this first person has to be assessed. Now, what I have to do is, I have to click on this question mark. What do I see here? What is pedagogy? Can I see the answer here?
Yes.
Yes. What I do, I read, I give 1 mark, for example. Second question, what is curriculum is learning strategies, I give 1. Then I save changes. What happens is now what is the situation? What is the condition? See, this is also marked. Are you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once again, I am going to the second one. See, second one gives what is pedagogy as TFV. I give 2, for example. For what is curriculum, 1 mark. Then I save changes. I am doing only assessment of those 2 sentences. Now you can see the mark here, right?
Yes.
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 Now what? Once this is done, I can check the point grid. What is point grid? Point grid shows me the Excel sheet of performance of the students. This shows the point grid of the students. Name of the student, marks, percentage scored, points scored, everything is visible here, right? Now, if I click on respond grid, I'll get another link where I can also see the answers given by the teachers. Clear? This is second one. And I can see the scoregram here. What do you mean by scoregram? See, this one is the highest number. Now 13 scores at 15 to 60. If I want to know how many students have scored 50 to 60, there are 13 students who scored 50 to 60. Where I can assess both multiple choice or objective type questions. Someone has turned it on. Please turn it off.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Namaste, sir.
Yes.
In the YouTube live, the teachers are requesting for the link of this test mouse. Can we post it there? Is
Yeah.
it okay?
Yeah. Do it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Now, how to do this? Whether Dinesh sir is there or...
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Things are going clear, right, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I am going to teach you how can you create this assessment. There are a lot of features available in this which are not available in Google Form or some other areas. Now let me go to the dashboard. I am coming out of the test. Now let me create a test. I am going to create a test first. So how to create a test? Create a new test. Here is an option, create a new test. Click on create a new test. Now you have to name the test. What it is? Demo unit 1. Yes, I am giving the name for that test as I gave it as a methodology. Now, after you name the test, you have to do setting adjustment. What do you mean by setting adjustment? When you click on setting adjustment, this page will appear. This is all about your assessment. Be very careful when I explain. See, introduction, the text displayed in the top of the test. If you want to give them any instruction, answer all the questions. For example, don't mind my spelling and all. Answer any instruction. You have to answer all the questions. So there are section A has 3 questions, 4 questions. You give anything that you want to. After that, these are the color scheme. How should your test look like? Whether it should look like this or blue or this maroon or black, whatever it be. Select one. How your test should look like. Now come to next. Question settings. There are 2 options available. When you were attending, what was the option? Whether all the questions were in one page or one question was there in one page.
One question in one page.
If you have all the questions, you will have to scroll. Now the beauty is you give one question per page. That means that will not be congested. Now show one question per page, or you can also show all the questions in one page. Navigation setting. Now there are 2 settings available which you can select. One is allowing the student to jump around to different question in the test. Without answering, the student can jump to next question and next question. Or you can set it for only allow the student to move forward after answering a question. You answer this first, then go to the next one. So I always prefer this one. You answer this and go to the next one. After that, after each question is answered, what should happen? Whether the system should show that your answer is correct or incorrect. If so, you tick this one. Display the correct answer. You gave your answer and immediately you gave the answer, the correct answer appears. Whether you need that, you can tick this one. If you want to give a little more explanation of an answer, for example, they might give you a wrong answer. When they give you a wrong answer, you want to explain them that this is the explanation. You can select this, for which you have to give explanation that clarifies the doubt of a student, that the student gives a wrong answer. And this explanation tells that, no, this is the right answer. Then show anything, just don't show anything. Just show the question, move to the next one. If that is required, you can select this one. Am I clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, perfect. Yes, sir. Now, randomize the order of question during the test. If I select this one, this will be different for different students. This will be not the same order. It will be different for different students. So I can randomize the order. Then I can write the conclusion text. What is a conclusion text? After you submit 10 questions, is there any message that the student should receive? That thank you for attempting the questions and your result will be published soon. You can do that. And you can show a custom message. If a student passes, what is the pass mark? Like if it is 33%, you can set it here. Then what should be the message that a passed student should get? Maybe a congratulations, you are eligible, maybe. Or fail student. Someone who gets 32 will get a fail message where you can type it here, work harder, maybe. Work harder, you could not make it. Now this message will appear if the student fails. Then at the end of the test, display the user's score. At the end, you can display the score, you can display the correct answer, you can display the explanation. You can enable any of these. There are features available. You just create a sign up and then go for setting. You will see a lot. Now, I created a test. I am going to create a test. I am creating the settings. When a link is sent to a student, if the student, only my student should be able to log in, I should not enable this anyone. If I click anyone from anywhere who gets the link will be able to attempt the question. So this is not at all safe. Second option is anyone who enters the passcode. You create a what was your passcode when you joined? Whether it asked for a passcode?
1234.
1234. So you can give your own. You are a teacher. You can give 5, 6, 7, 8. It's up to you. Now what happens? Anyone can get the link, but only those who have your passcode will be able to join. Or you can also do this one. Anyone who enters a unique identifier. Maybe you have 10 students, they have their admission numbers. Copy all their admission numbers and paste it here. You have your email IDs, 10 students' email IDs. Copy all the email IDs and paste it here. Then you can submit it. You can do it here. Okay. So if you add the email IDs or unique numbers or Aadhaar numbers or roll number, don't give roll numbers or your admission numbers. When they enter, it will ask for the unique identifier. Then they have to give that identifier which you added here. Or you can also add anyone who enters an email address. So it will just ask for an email address, and with the email address, they will join. Am I clear? These 4 settings. This is for safety.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now look at this. How many times do test takers have to complete the test? Whether you are giving unlimited chances, time, or whether you are setting 15 minutes. You set the time. Then by 15 minutes, it will get deactivated. Then look at the second option. How many times can they take your test? If it is only once, give 1 chance. If you want to give them 2 chances, give 2. Then they will be able to answer it twice. If it is unlimited, they will be able to do it unlimited. Am I clear with that?
Yes.
Yes. Now look at this. What should test takers enter to identify themselves? When I asked you to join, what was the identification it asked for? Tell me.
Name.
So you can either enter your name, just copy and paste, enter your name here, enter your student ID here, or your school name or email address here. You can give any, but that will be your identification. Now look at the next. I hope that you got this. My next thing is the browser functionality. Now you see, here are certain things which you can select. 1, disable right click and context menu. Now I am right clicking on my mouse. Do you see what appears here? Do you see what appears on the screen when I click on my right mouse? Yes. Now if I disable
Browser functionality.
Yeah, browser functionality. If I disable, the student will not be able to right click in the device. Then it will not help the student to browse in a different incognito or copy paste, do nothing. It's not possible. If I disable copy paste, the student will not be able to copy it from somewhere and paste it here. Not possible. If I disable translate, the student will not be able to get the translation of it. Autocomplete is what it completes. Like, you know, we type and it gets completed, it will be deactivated. Spelling check can be deactivated. Printing can be deactivated. If you do these settings, your student will not be able to do any of these things. And notification. Whether you want to receive a notification when someone finishes the test. It's not at all necessary that you should keep your device on and wait for their result. You give them the link, give them the passcode, then ask them to attempt, and when it is time, you go and check and you check the result. So if you want to receive a notification when someone finishes, if you give the mail ID, every time one submits, you will receive a message. It is not advisable because you will have a lot of notifications. Then save it. Now I saved the setting. Okay. Now I have made a mistake here. I could not enter. I made it anyone. Then I am saving it. Now my setting is saved. Once the setting is saved, now it's time for me to add the questions. How can I add questions? On my screen, I can see an insert icon, right? Do you see this? What we did so far is setting the question paper. How it should be, what all are the features it should have, and all these things. Then click on insert. Then I am using my first question. It can be a multiple choice question, multiple choice with many answers, true or false question, matching, filling the blanks, essay writing. I can select. If it is multiple choice, this page will appear. I can type my question. Then I can add the answers like this, as we do in Google form as well. Then select the right answer. Then give the point. If it is for 2 marks, give 2 marks. And I have to go for my next question, second question. Select true or false. Give my statement. True or false is already given there. And select the right answer. Give 2 marks. I have done. I am inserting another question. It may be a short answer or long answer question. Look at this. When you give a long answer question, you should not select ungraded. You can see short answer, ungraded. What happens with ungraded? You will not be able to give them marks. There is no option for marks. Now, if you want to delete what you have created, click on this minus. Now, I am adding a long answer question. Even if it is short answer, use essay. Ask a question. Then you can also give your answers here. Why you should give your answer here? It is not at all necessary. But if you give this answer, when you are doing your valuation, this answer will appear there as a value point for you to do the assessment. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes. Now I used the 3 questions. Now I need not save it separately. It gets saved. It gets saved. After creating the questions, I have to publish the page. Click on publish. If I publish, now I can publish the page. If there is any problem, it will show you. Now this is the code generated. This is the code generated. I can copy and paste it. I can copy and paste it in Google Classroom or any other online MS or whatever tools you are using. And the student, before that you give a try. Once you click on this, you see whether the questions appear there. Now it is asking for a enter your name. Now I am giving Jaleel and starting the test. Now the questions will appear. Answer all the question. Okay, this is the instruction. Now continuing, I am giving the answer, submitting. And the right second one, I am giving the answer, submitting. I am selecting a true, finish. My test is finished. Now, once I finish, I will be able to see this. It says that this is incorrect and it shows the right answer. So the student will get the feedback immediately. But this is what you can do with a test mouse. So these are the two important tools that I wanted to give you. If I look at my school, this is my school's dashboard where I can see the average of as a head of the institution, how many questions were there, what is the total score, what is the average score by the students, and this test is closed. Now, this is the dashboard of my school, which all the teachers are using. And I have taken this for my entire school, and we are conducting pre-board. I mean, we are conducting, pre-midterm, midterm, and all these using this device. And believe me, it gives a lot of inputs and it gives a lot of analysis reports. And this is what I had about the two tools. I am extremely sorry that I cannot go beyond these two tools as I have another meeting to attend, and hope that these two tools are very clear to you. And if there is an opportunity to meet you people once again, I'll explain more tools. And I hope that these two explanations are very clear to you. Dinesh sir, as I had taken, I had taken more time than I had told, I'm extremely sorry. I'm limiting it to one tool and one assessment tool. And some of the teachers had also asked about mathematics diagram related question. You can go to GeoGebra. There is an option called GeoGebra, where you can use it for graphs, diagrams, and anything. It's a huge world. I told you, I feel myself I'm not resourceful enough when it comes to online teaching and all. So if you have questions, you can send it to the Sahodaya and or the authority that you have there. I'll surely give you an explanation or answer to all those questions. But I do apologize for my inability to go beyond these two. Actually, I had planned these two. One is near code, one was Desmos, and we also had one called Class Dojo, another one called Mentimeter. As you attended that session through Mentimeter. I do really apologize. I am unable to go beyond these tools, but I tried my best to explain this, and it's open now. As I have another session to complete,
Thank you, Jaleel.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. It has been explained really well. And there is no point in telling many tools at the same time, I don't think we will be able to read in all those things. So at least you gave very clear-cut idea about two tools, which are highly effective and I think user-friendly also. Teachers will be able to use it. Absolutely no doubt. Thank you very much. And any specific doubts, if you can spend another 5 or 10 minutes with us, if any other specific doubts beyond this, within this.
Sir, can we present the screen? A few doubts, only a few, 4 or 5.
Okay, before that, in chat box, one of the doubts, I think, can we assess this test afterwards, in case if you are unable to log in that particular time?
You are asking about test mode, sir?
Yeah, test mode.
Anytime, once they see, the only thing you create a setting, create a test, drop the link, let them do it. If you want to assess it after 10 days, 20 days, you can do it. It will be there. It will be under your custody. It's not necessary you create a test and you be present there throughout the test to see what happens. You forget it. You forget it completely. And you also have option for Malayalam and Hindi and typing other languages also.
Okay. And quickly, Lakshmi madam, and quickly
Yes.
you can present it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Liji? Yes. So the slide is presented.
Okay, question. In nearboard, one code is applicable to only 30. Answer. If it is a basic plan and there are many options available, am I correct?
Yes, yes.
Jaleel, am I correct?
Yes, yes.
Then basic plan only up to 30 students, and if you go for other plans, then you can. Next question, please. can we assess this test later if we don't have login? That also you have answered.
Yes.
Test most. It is possible. Are descriptive questions available in free version or do we have to pay for it?
You have to check. Actually, I have to check that in free version.
Okay.
Sir, I'll let you know today.
Okay. Is it possible to upload the photo of answers written in a paper?
In free version, in free version, descriptive is available. You check it. It is available.
This question, is it possible to upload, previous question, is it possible to upload the photo of answers written in paper for descriptive type questions?
In Tesmos,
Yeah.
I have to check that, sir.
Okay. Essay type questions, how the students can write? Tesmos.
Yeah.
Is there any limitation of words and all when we type it and all, or it is n number of words can be typed?
When it is essay, essay is usually 350 words. You won't get an answer more than that, right?
Yeah. That's possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a student limit for Tesmos?
No.
Okay, next.
That's all,
Is
sir.
there a okay, it has been answered. Next question.
It's that's all. That's all, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jaleel, Dr.
Yeah,
Jaleel.
if you get more questions, you drop it, sir. I'll give you the answers. You can pass it if you get such a very relevant questions.
Okay, thank you very much.
And I do really apologize. I limited it to 2. That I told you that giving a lot creates a lot of problems sometimes.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It was well explained. Lakshmi, would you please invite Mr. Babu Koikar, our treasurer, for proposing vote of thanks?
Sure, sir. Sure. Before I invite Sri Babu Koikara, sir, let me just inform the participants that the link for the Google Forms is posted both in the Google Meet chat box as well as the YouTube chat box. So please, you can fill the forms. May I now request Sri Babu Koikara, sir, Sahodaya School Complex Thrissur Treasurer, to propose the vote of thanks. Sir,
okay, one second. See, I forgot to tell it in the beginning. All the participants, irrespective of whether you are attending the class through this platform or through YouTube channel, will be provided with e-certificate. For that, you need to fill in the Google form, which has been just posted in the chat box. Please fill in that. All will get an e-certificate. Thank you very much. Please, sir, Babu Koikar, sir, please take on.
Okay, Jaleel sir, good afternoon. Respected office bearers of the SSCT, our President Anila Chechandran, and our General Secretary Dr. Dinesh Babu, our other executive members, and all the teachers of Thrissur Sahodaya, and Dr. Abdul Jaleel. Of course, it was a very good session. The Jaleel sir was continuously telling, I could present only 2, I could present only 2, I could... no, see, it is not the matter that you present more, making the teachers confused. Even presenting 1 is enough. That is because the teachers can get on to it. Because for last more than 1 year, all the teachers are equipped in doing online training, teaching. So when you get some more ideas, some more areas where they can explore and make their class beautiful, that would be very better. And if you give more tools, it will be very difficult for them to remember all. If 1 or 2, that's very good. Nearpod and Tesmos, very good. Very elaborately and systematically, very slowly you have explained, and most of the teachers have understood what the thing is. Of course, those who are good with the computer and all those things, they can go very easily into the things and very easily accommodate these things into their teaching. So we are very happy to have you here. So as we are told, the largest Sahodaya in Kerala, and that's why the participation number is more. We can, whatever training we take up any training, there will be a lot of participations. So it's not possible to have an individual attention as we are told. If it is a small number, yes, it is possible for the teachers to do it and you can make evaluation. But this is a very huge number. And I know it has reached even up to 156 in the online training and much more in the YouTube channel. So therefore, very, very pleased and happy to have you here. And as I was there at the beginning till the end, see that you have present only two, but you know the confidence you have. That's no doubt. Whatever be the clarifications teachers are asking or putting in the chat box, you have the answer. That means you are clearly mastered it. And you know, when you have a full confidence in talking, and that exactly the teachers gain it. And I'm very happy that you know all the teachers have see the number was very. I was just watching when it crossed even 1 hour, 1.5 hours. So if the number goes down in case that the training is not that effective, you know, slowly people leave because you know it is an online training, nobody will know it. But you know the number was remaining around 140, 45 like that always till the end. So that shows that it was very interesting, and all the teachers who have attended this training have gained. I take this opportunity to thank you very much from the part of the SSCT, Trishu, for having come over to this Sahodaya to give a training to our teachers. That is very beneficial to our students. Okay, thank you, Sam. Thank you very much. I also take this opportunity to thank the SSCT for organizing the first webinar for the teachers training for this academic year. And I also thank all the participant teachers, all those who have joined here and gained it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Dinesh sir. So may I leave now?
Yeah, you can. You can. Lakshmi, you may conclude now.
Thank you. I have another session.
I understand. I understand. Okay. You can leave. You can leave, Jalil. I'll call you
Anila
up at
ma'am.
night.
Anila ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Namaste.
I'll call you up night. Thank you very much. Nice. Before we leave, I would like to thank Kulapati Munshi team for arranging this and all, especially their leader, Anla Madam and Liji and Lashmi and all for arranging this one. It was well planned and meticulously executed. Thank you. Thank you for that. Special thanks from Sahodaya side. You always do it. You always do it still. Okay. Okay then. Bye-bye participants. I'm also leaving. Bye-bye madam. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Lakshmi and Liji, thank you so much. Suma also, please convey my thanks.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.